Yeah, that's right, Dr. Kiwi. Congrats to Kiwikiller on being an actual doctor.
Yes, congratulations.
As of last week, I believe.
That's what I've been told. Well, here we go.
All right, and they're starting.
Looks like they're off.
So this is the first round of bracket play for the DKR tournament. Tridenttail is one of the favorites to win the left side of the bracket. He has a 25 minutes and 0 seconds time in this category. So he's one of the best players in the tournament right now. Kiwikiller has been improving a lot recently. I don't know what his PB is right now, but I know he improved a lot leading up to the start of this tournament.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing a lot of people getting PBs here. We just saw Trident just get his 25. I believe yesterday he just got the 25-0-0 mark. A Kiwi there at the end of Ancient Lake, getting an unfortunate bump on the dinosaur and having to take a bit of a time loss. Here we go on to Fossil Canyon.
So Kiwi actually go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, Kiwi actually has he has a really low 27, so on the cusp of getting a sub 27, and with all the PBs that we've been seeing recently, it'll be interesting to see if either of these players, especially considering how well they've been playing recently, it'll be interesting to see if either of these players can pull off a PB in one of these races.
Yep. There we see Trident pulling off a very nice canyon list trick there. Able to get that.
So this track, so one of the harder car tracks, you have to do this trick called Canyon List, which we're called because you skip like the first half of the canyon area at the end of Fossil Canyon. So you do it by doing a very precise series of drifts there to get both the zipper and the blue balloon and sort of launch yourself into the second set of blue balloons.
Yeah.
And try finishing with a 105.
Yep. We did see Trident miss the last jump on the lake, which costed him a couple seconds there, definitely, which resulted in the 105. Now we're on to Jungle Falls, which is a very short track. There's definitely quite a bit of... It seems like a pretty easy track. However, you do have the little dinosaur, you have the rib cage, and they can definitely throw you off, as well as...
Yeah, this track is a little harder than it looks. It is a fairly simple, short, direct car track, but at the same time, there's like a few jumps where you have to get a good angle off of boosts. You have to collect bananas early on, but doing so is also kind of dangerous. You have to go very close along the left side of this bridge, and if you're trying to do that quickly, it's possible you could like wipe out. It's harder than it looks. Okay, so we'll see Trident getting the first out of bounds already. Looks like he's on pace to have a pretty good trophy race here.
Oh yeah.
We will see Kiwikiller go for this as well, the Hot Top Volcano out of bounds. It is probably one of the easier out of bounds in the game, although it is not free by any means. Okay, so Kiwikiller getting the clip.
I've always found that a bit of the difficulty with these clips, not necessarily Hot Top, but we'll see later on in Windmill Plains, is staying within the clip. Is staying out of bounds, making sure you're hitting the check marks, and not getting a wrong way.
It's harder than it looks, because there's not only, and horizontally you have to be in the right place on the map, and you can sort of follow on the mini-map the lines that they're taking. Ideally, you want to just take a straight line between the checkpoints, but the checkpoint, even if you know about where it is, it's hard to hit that spot exactly. So we'll often see players have to make adjustments to make sure they're following the right course out of bounds, or sometimes missing the checkpoint and having to go back for it.
Yeah. And we did see Trident there getting a sub for Dino Domain, going into Sherbert Island, and on our first hover track, Whale Bay. Hover's definitely a very interesting vehicle in the game. You'll see Trident rocking back and forth with the hover, which is a technique known as snaking, which kind of shows where the game, when you're turning on hover, you're actually gaining speed, so turning constantly helps maintain a really good speed, and looks like he's having a pretty solid wheelbase so far. And Kiwikiller also now on wheelbase himself, also snaking around. The whale trick, definitely getting on the wheel there can cause a lot of trouble if you don't take it straight. Both players doing a very good job there.
That's right, and you can tap R to do a small hop in the hover, which is very important on this track because the whale, depending on how you move, you often will have to jump off the whale in order to clear onto the ship. Like we saw Kiwi attempt it there, but he jumped a little early, so he clipped the edge of the ship. That loses probably a little more time than you would think on this track. It's very frustrating when that happens.
Now we see Trident on Pirate Lagoon, another hover track. It's fairly short, but has a lot of tricky turns, as you just saw there. If you're very good at turning, you can just breeze through this track. But
Pirate Lagoon is not as like basic movement intensive as Whale Bay. It's just mostly about taking good angles, controlling your boost well, and making sharp turns while losing the least amount of speed possible. It's very difficult to pull off 3 good laps on this track.
Looks like Trident has at least 2 good laps going so far here. As both times he was able to get the jump, which you'll see at the end of his lap 3, and right here we see Kiwi doing that little jump. That jump can be very tricky if you don't take the right angle, as you saw. Kiwi
finishing with a fine time of 58, and he'll be moving on to the first car track of this trophy race.
Yes, which is Crescent Island, which is a tricky track, I would say, especially at the end.
Yeah, definitely harder than it would first appear. There are no blue balloons on this track, which can lend itself well to beginners of this game when first learning. And it's a fairly basic track, except it's harder than it seems. There's this boost at the end.
And that little turn there that Trident took very nicely.
If you try to go full speed on that turn, it's very difficult to actually pull that off. You pretty much have to cut your speed by a certain amount, depending on the angle you're going and how well you're able to turn quickly.
And there we see Kiwi finishing Pirate Lagoon, with a 108. Not a bad time, but not quite as good as Trident's 59 or 58.
Yeah, it can be easy to lose time on the hover stages if you haven't practiced them recently. It's like a very just different type of movement to the rest of the game. Every vehicle, having its own style, but I feel like hover especially, you have to practice some hover before you do any run, or else it's going to be really noticeable.
There we see Trident with a 106 on Crescent Island, which is very solid. From what I can tell, we see Kiwi missing.
Amazing time, actually.
That's really good, and we see Kiwi missing a couple of zippers there, but he seems to just be getting back in the groove of things. Here we go. Next. It's always fascinating to see how people take that turn.
Yeah, Kiwi was very careful there, which is probably a good thing. In a no reset situation, it can cost you a lot more than it gains you to be aggressive on that turn.
Yeah. And we see, we see Trident on Treasure Case finishing it up. I believe he was using his boost at the entrance to the cave. There's a couple of different ways that you can use your blue balloon that you'll get at the beginning of each lap.
Yeah, there's 2 main strategies that I know of. There's the one that Kiwi will probably do. Nope, he's saving it. Okay, so he's actually going to do what I used to do, which is chain this boost at the end of the lap. So let's see how well this goes. This is really difficult to pull this turn off. You missed the balloon. It's almost impossible to get a good line on that turn and also hit the balloon again on your way down.
Yeah, which is why many people use their balloon after the first zipper. So most people will see him boost. They'll boost about here on the track, and they'll catch that other zipper and carry the speed to the last zipper of the track.
Still getting a decent time, and you see Trident here on the first inbounds plane level. Bouncing around a bit, trying to avoid bonking on anything, but does succeed.
Oh,
until just then, I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
This track, Everfrost Peak, a common source of frustration. It can be really fun when done correctly, but Any mistake on this level tends to be very costly because of how momentum based it is.
Yeah, and playing in general is very momentum based with your with what times you get in your speed. A lot of times these players aren't even pressing A. They're not really holding down the button to accelerate. They're chaining boosts and they're barrel rolling to keep their speed up. Since
That's
barrel
right.
rolling in a plane without holding acceleration is the fastest way to move, as you'll get very close to, if not the fastest speed you can get in the vehicle. So we see a little bit of the difference kind of between Trident's movements that we saw in lap 3, where he was very smooth with it, with Kiwi, who is also, he's moving very smoothly. Like,
Yeah, Kiwi's plane is actually quite good for his skill level, I would say. It seems
Definitely.
like his strongest tracks are the plane levels.
yeah, it's
So
always nice to see.
Not lacking confidence here.
Oh yeah, no, it's very nice to see players having confidence in their plane and just playing it very well, because, you know, and he does miss a zipper there, but he does have the boost there to at least get him to the next section. Usually it's actually getting that floor boost is usually the one that people have difficulty with.
Oh wow,
very
that was a
unfortunate
nasty
bomb for
ball.
him.
I'm not really quite sure why he got knocked in that horrible direction, almost straight backwards.
Yeah.
Usually when you hit the wall there, you just kind of get knocked to the side.
Now we have both players on Walrus Cove. Trident on lap 3 going around the ice section. Hopefully we don't see any shenanigans from the ice like we
physics
saw
here
in
can
the
be
last
very
game.
punishing. You have to be careful when you use this boost.
Yeah.
To use it in a place where you can. Wow, and he just got a 121. That's a very good Walrus Cove.
Fantastic time. Yeah. Ooh. A little bit of mishap for Kiwi there as he goes up and just has a bunch of car bonks, which maybe not quite as punishing as plane bonks, but still nonetheless you don't really want too many of them. It's just very frustrating. And we see Trident here on Snowball Valley, very quick course, but very technical course. At least in that one little section there.
There's a
making
few different
very
ways you can
sharp turns.
approach trying to get a double boost in that section. The way Trident's doing it is a little bit safer, where you sort of wait to line up. Well, you'll see what he's doing. Yeah, so you want to use your balloon into that zipper.
Before he hits the zipper, and using that momentum to carry him into another blue balloon, and then boost right through that little section. We see Kiwi here finishing up Walrus Cove on lap as he just gets onto lap 3.
So one thing that's important in Snowball Valley and also this level, you'll see right here, controlling your car in the air. So there, you actually do have a certain amount of control over your steering while you're in the air as car, but the physics is very strange. It takes a lot of practice to be able to get a good amount of speed and control which way you go when you're in the air.
Yep.
You'll see Trident do it again here.
Very nice from Trident. A lot of times when you're doing that, the players will ever so slightly pull backwards on their joystick to level out and get more air on that, so they're not hitting the first tier, hitting the first plateau of the slope, but instead just flying all the way down. And then a lot of players opt to boost into that cave section there. We see.
Yeah, most people do what Trident just did. I saw Bando, what he did earlier is use the balloon into the zipper and just do one big jump down the whole valley.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Man, Kiwikiller's brightness is really high, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot different
That snow is blindingly white.
Oh man, I know. But also Frosty Village is also a slightly darker course, just like ice-wise. It's more bluish ice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You're right, it's not so blinding.
So we get bumping TT around, and he has a little bit of difficulty getting to that zipper with the AI. AI can be very pesky in this entire game.
Yeah.
Right
onto the third and last hover track, Boulder Canyon. Very tough track to do consistently. There's a few important boosts like that one.
Yep.
Where you need to chain your speed and hover and try to cover as much distance as you can. It can be complicated in some cases by the lag. Like in lap 3, we'll see that section can be really laggy sometimes.
He's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be chaining his boosts in that section with the log, where he's gonna be using double boost to get over the log and then a single boost to get around the corner. Boulder Canyon is a really neat hover track. I must say, it's a lot of fun to watch and definitely tricky to play though.
Yeah, going up this section in particular, I find to be very difficult to do this uphill. It's like an uphill turn and tunnel, and it's kind of annoying to get up there quickly. Ideally, you just want to sort of boost into the air and like skip the whole thing. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Looks like Trident's going to get a 120, 121.
Yeah, the low frame on 121, and
so they're about one track separating these two now.
yes,
Kiwikiller moving in to start Boulder Canyon.
one thing you'll notice in races is when somebody pulls ahead is that they usually will pull ahead within Snowflake Mountain, which is the ice trophy race. Just because of tracks like Everfrost, where like Everfrost and Walrus Cove, which if you have really good mastery over, you can pull ahead really far.
That's true, and also just that the first two trophy races tend to not be as separated in terms of skill level.
Yes,
the amount of time that you gain or lose usually is a lot more in the Snowflake, Dragon Forest, and Future Funland, which are the last three.
And we see with Trident going into lap 3 on Greenwood Village. Ooh, that was very interesting. He kind of phased right through that spike ball. But you see him picking up the shield there on laps 2 and 3, picking up and using them around that corner. As sometimes, especially on lap 2, there's usually like an oil spill or a spike ball there waiting for you, which the AI just love to place there to try and trick you and trap you in. But you see a very good Greenwood Village, a 111.
Pretty good.
It looks like that's a really good time.
You sometimes see the collision in detection in this game working in favor of the player. Wow, Kiwi just almost avoided getting. He almost got hit by that log. I don't know. That was crazy. Okay, so Trident's actually going for the out of bounds right now in Windmill Plains. He's got 7 bananas. Pretty good amount.
You're cutting out in and out for me.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I was trying to explain about the out of bounds. So yeah, Trident, well, he got it obviously, but the Windmill Plains out of bounds.
One of the most difficult out of bounds in the game. Not only to get in, but also when you're out of bounds, hitting all the checkpoints is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, this out of bounds is a lot harder than it looks. It might look like they're just sort of flying aimlessly while they're like in the black void out of bounds, but that's actually not the case in this track. You have to be very careful. There's only a relatively narrow lane of travel where you can be flying in. If you go too high or low, you can get reset back to the starting line. Okay, so yeah, he finished that pretty well. Good out of bounds for him.
Yeah, definitely sweet. That was a really good out of bounds for Trident. As we see him go onto Haunted Woods. With Kiwi being on lap 3 of Greenwood Village, we'll see shortly if he's going to go for the out of bounds on Windmill Plains or if he's going to go with a more safer route. And
yeah, I would expect him to try it. I mean, he has to know that he needs everything he can get if he wants to have any chance of keeping it close with a player as good as Trident.
Yeah, Trident putting up a very good Haunted Woods so far. Haunted Woods, another course without any blue balloons that you get. You see him miss the zipper there, but
yeah, that's a bit of a painful zipper to miss because you kind of rely on that to throw yourself down that turn. One of the more important zippers.
Yeah.
So Kiwi's actually going for the triple balloon strat for this clip. So let's see if he gets this.
He does get the clip.
He just fine.
Right,
so that's a bit of it's a slower setup to get those 3 balloons. Ooh.
Does he get it? Oh my goodness, Kiwi.
Ooh, man, okay, a bit of a close call there, but manages to stay in bounds.
Yeah.
And
oh!
Jeez.
God, this is the most heart-pounding.
That was so close.
I've ever seen. Oh, Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And on Trident, just
Good job, Kiwi, just keeping his
Great job.
composure and staying
Oh my
in bounds.
yeah, definitely. Trident flying through
Staying out of
Spaceless
bounds.
Alley. Yes, staying out of bounds for him. And Trident is having a pretty good first lap on Space. Yeah, first lap on
Yeah.
Space Dust Alley.
Space Dust Alley, one of the inbounds, and a lot of people would say the hardest track.
Sorry.
He did a backflip, and then he did his backflip in the spot where it put him right into the laser. So he did a backflip and then took damage. That was
yeah, that's unfortunate.
wow, very unfortunate accident.
Yeah. Ooh, and then he runs into the
Then runs
asteroid,
into a
those
boulder.
pesky,
Wow.
the pesky asteroid. Oh man.
This track, as we were about to say, very difficult. Known for being
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yes.
And you can see why.
Noted for being difficult and disliked by a lot of players.
It's
Oh.
hard to have a consistent, fast run of Space Dust Alley because by going so fast, you almost inevitably are more likely to hit things or like barrel roll in such a way that you like hit the wall during your spin or something like that.
Yeah. Tried finishing up. He's not going to be happy with that time at all, but he looks like he's on. It looks like he's on really good pace right now. I don't know if it's PB pace, but definitely really good pace. As he goes on to Darkmoon Caverns, or as most people like to call it, Bonkmoon Caverns, since there's so many little places as you're going around these corners, especially in this next section where you can just turn too much and just bonk. But it seems to be taking it really good going into the loop there as Kiwikiller now just getting into Future Funland on Space Dust Alley.
Yeah, so Space Dust Alley I think is actually one of Kiwi's best tracks. So curious to see what he can do here. It is hard to pull off a consistent Space Dust Alley in a run. Like this track is just kind of chaotic.
Some really weird hit detection for him on the second blue balloon, but looks like he's keeping composure, having a pretty good lap one for the amount of balloons that he did or didn't get. Yeah, definitely. That's a solid first lap, solid 30 lap. As it looks like ooh, that's an interesting amount of spike balls. As Trident,
yeah, that area can be pretty dense sometimes with the traps. Occasionally, you'll have an oil slick in somewhere where it's nearly impossible to avoid it.
Yeah.
One of the many things that can make this level inconsistent.
Yeah. But it looks like Trident's having a very good Darkmoon Caverns. Oh, and then he bonks as I say that. But still pretty good.
He's still going to get sub 140. That's wow.
Yeah, he did.
136 with that bonk.
136 with a bonk. Oh no. Oh man. Oh, Kiwi just avoiding the
Kiwi
avoiding all that.
saving it with boosts. Great
save.
I mean, it's a save, but on the other hand, you would like to have that boost for something else.
Yeah,
but man, this FFL from Trident so far.
It's been very up and down and interesting.
Yeah.
As he's now on Star City which is a pretty fun car track. I think it's I mean it's a lot about drifting.
Yeah, very fun, very drift-based track. Just having good fundamentals, being able to control your speed during a boost.
Especially right there. You need to be able to control yourself in there. Because if you miss it, you fall down the bridge, which can cost a lot of time. And if you
and Trident, unfortunately, it's hard to get a perfect line onto that zipper that's on the far right there, and also clear the corner. Oh my God, he got comboed by those mines.
Oh no.
That was crazy. His momentum, they carried him perfectly between the first and second one.
That might have actually been better for him that he hit it twice there, just because, like, obviously bonking is not great, but if you're gonna bonk, at least bonking twice in a row before you start moving again, is pretty good. Nice job avoiding that spike ball with a nice tight turn. As he finishes out with what looks like it's gonna be a 121.
Considering you hit 2 mines in a row, I don't think that's so bad.
No, that's a pretty good. Definitely a pretty good Darkmoon.
All right, and Trident's probably going to finish here with a mid 25 if he gets this out of bounds.
Yeah, if he gets the out of bounds.
Low to mid 25.
So Spaceport Alpha with the final out of bounds. This out of bounds is exclusive to the Japanese cartridge, which is what I assume both players are using. Oh man, that
Oh,
unfortunate
no.
bonk for Trident.
That's like
But-
probably the last place where you could bonk in the whole run.
Yep. Unless you bonk here.
Unless you bonk on the
Oh,
yeah, I was
what?
gonna say unless you mess up the events. And actually,
Oh, he did miss it. So he's. Wait, what is he?
well,
doing?
he's gonna be safe. He's gonna go back and get the shield, then turn around. He
Gotcha.
knows that he probably has time.
Yeah. That was a good
And
good
indeed he
way to get
does.
out of bounds.
So
For
good
him.
job by Trident there, not losing his calm, just executing the backup.
Yeah. Definitely not the run that he would necessarily want, but he is going to get a mid 25, which is nothing
Yeah,
to,
despite the
to
mistake.
shake out at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy FFL. That was
Nuts, dude. So many strange things happened. In
lots
it.
of interesting things happening.
Yeah, for both people, not just Trident, but Kiwikiller also so far. He's on his lap 2 of Star City right now, with Trident finishing at a 25.
Oh, that Walrus Cove was PB. I noticed that you had a
Yeah.
very good Walrus Cove. I wasn't
The
sure.
Walrus Cove was insane, dude.
That's-
Congratulations on that.
Makes sense that would be a PB. That was a crazy time.
Yeah.
And yeah, DMC 136 after getting hit by double mine.
Awesome, yeah.
That was pretty great recovery.
Yeah. One little trick that people do here is you get the shield, you do the double boost, and sometimes it can even be difficult to get that bottom. Ooh, as we see Kiwi unfortunately hit the spike ball there. Not much you could really do about that. A lot of
Yeah,
things,
there can sometimes be traps in places in Star City or like around the corners where it's real hard to see them coming.
yeah.
So Kiwi is on pace to get a 27, and
Yeah.
we'll see what his strat is for approaching the out of bounds. Yeah, just getting some bananas.
Yep.
Nothing too out of the ordinary here.
No, not at all. He's gonna get the shield here.
And again, in
Oh,
case
he
anyone
missed the shield,
he's
so
gonna have to do
he's
this
probably
without the
just
shield.
gonna. So he's gonna
Yep.
go further out.
Oh,
He did not get
he
high
actually
enough on
didn't
that.
get shot, but he turned a little late, so
Mhm.
he wasn't able to set up a good angle for approaching the
Yeah.
spot that you need to hit. So he's
Yeah.
gonna have to finish one lap of this track inbounds before he tries that again.
Yep. I think 27's still in the mix, but depends on this next one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, assuming he
how-
gets it this time.
Yes. Oh, a little bonk there, but as long as he still gets this, he should be pretty good.
Well,
Gets the balloon. There we go.
just
Set up. There he goes. He gets the out of bounds. All right. He's off. Most likely not going to get the 20.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that did cost the 27, but you know,
Yeah.
he
But at least he's a doctor. Which is awesome. But,
that's true.
But,
That's
I mean,
pretty awesome.
considering all things, considering all the bonks that he had on certain courses, especially on the recovery on Space Dust Alley, it's pretty good. He had a 28.08.
Yeah, finishing with a low 28.
Yeah.
Respectable time.
Oh yeah.
And I guess, let me look at the race room.
Okay.
Okay, they're making a new room for round 2, it looks like.
Okay. Definitely Sweener. 28 in DKR in all trophy, and can treat us. Yeah, but he got his PhD in whatever field he's studying, which is pretty cool. Unlike my name, where it's just there. I'm not actually. The doctor's just kind of in my. He's actually a doctor of some sort.
Yeah, Dr. Kiwi.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Kiwikiller. Oh, nice organic chemistry. My goodness. I was awful at chemistry in school.
Yeah, organic chem. I never got past the part where you just have to memorize all of the naming schemes for the organic molecules.
Yeah.
That stuff was really hard.
I haven't taken even chemistry yet in college, but maybe I'll take. I don't think I'll have to take it, but maybe.
Yep, looks like they're starting Dino again, so as soon as both players ready up, I guess we'll be good to go here.
Yeah.
Trophy race.
Looks like both players are
Yep,
readied up,
they're about ready to go.
so we should be starting any second now. Here we go.
Ancient lake.
Alright, so again with the Dino start, and we're off to game 2. Again, try winning the first match.
Yes.
Power up.
Nice big boost from Trident there.
Yeah, he got the double boost at the beginning. That's something that's kind of inconsistent to go for,
Lap 2.
but it is nice when you get it.
Oh. That's something interesting I just learned. That is a double boost, you're right. He got both boost balloons there. So yeah, this track pretty basic. It's all about chaining your boosts together.
Yeah, try and getting a 36, not bad.
38 from Kiwikiller, right behind him. Going into Fossil Canyon. So you'll notice the first time that they do this, that they don't just immediately go for the jump, that they'll get the 4 balloons here.
Yeah, it's doing the jump is not only do you want these bananas, but also it's hard to have a good jump if you don't already have bananas.
Yep.
Because
Nice
they
tank.
affect your speed
Ooh.
by. Oh wow, interesting. You know, he had almost the same bump happen in the first game,
Oh, okay.
or maybe it was Kiwi that had it. I don't remember. One of these players had that happen.
Yeah. Oh, another? Okay, that was not as bad as the last one. He missed
Yeah.
the boost again on lap 2 in Fossil Canyon, but he flew far enough where his cart only had 1 jump in the water before he got on land. If you get in water in there, that's very punishing time-wise. Just getting that boost in general is pretty difficult. As we see both of them get it there on that lap, both.
Oof. So Trident not going to be able to do Canyonless the way he wants.
But still nonetheless not bad.
He's going to finish with a decent time.
105.
Let's see.
Kiwi-
Pretty close, actually, still between these players.
Yeah, 107 from Kiwi.
105 and 107 on Fossil Canyon.
We have Giz with the 2654 tie
Oh, the prediction.
prediction from
I don't think Trident would be very happy with that.
no. But with a couple out of bounds misses, that'd be something. Yeah, both players on Jungle Falls. You see Trident flying around the track, and Kiwi about a half a lap behind him. But this is such a short track that this is barely any time difference between the two of them.
Yeah, Jungle Falls is definitely a track where it's harder to have a significant time advantage over another player.
So we see a 37 from Trident, which is incredible. And we're going to see a 41 from Kiwi.
Yeah, but yeah, Trident's skill really showing here in this Dino. He's just pulling ahead a few seconds at a time, and like Kiwi is playing well too.
Oh yeah, definitely. There we go. Both players going to go for the Hot Top Volcano. Out of bounds, both players.
Yeah, neither of them having any problem with that.
No.
And this one's pretty easy. You just have to go to the top and then go to the bottom right and just keep...
Yep.
You have a lot of lenience compared to windmill planes, for example, over being like high or low. I mean, it's better to follow like just a straight lane, but there's a lot of lenience in case you do go off the path, so to speak.
Yes. And also to note that there's 2 different places where you can go out of bounds on this track. Both players opting for the first place you can go out of bounds, but if you go a little bit farther into the track, there's actually, and you get a couple bananas, there's another spot where you can go down.
That's right. There's like a backup. Well, there's actually more than one backup you can do. And if you were watching the race earlier, Bando was doing that strategy intentionally so that he could collect more bananas before going out of bounds.
Yes.
But yeah, we see on to Sherbert now, the first hover track of the game, followed closely by the second hover track of the game.
Yes. We have Whale Bay, which we'll see here. We'll see Trident jump as off the whale. Pressing your R button on hover up does provide you with a jump. He does miss that blue balloon. There.
Yeah, there's this very annoying and inconsistent sort of movement you have to do where you want to get a very good boost off of that boost. So like you want a lot of speed off that boost, but at the same time you want to make this quick turn to grab this balloon.
Yeah.
Okay, he gets it that time. Good.
And changed it completely, but does miss that blue balloon there. So, I mean, he just won't get the double boost going into final part of this track.
He's doing fine here though.
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna get a 51. Yeah.
51, fantastic time.
But yeah, Whale Bay is a track where it's hard to get everything that you want if you're going at full speed.
Yeah, definitely.
Just takes a lot of repetition.
Yeah, you'll notice with the whale that the whale will always, even if the whale's going down, he'll always pop back up for you with time. And Kiwi with a 53, that's also a pretty good time. A 53 on Whale Bay.
Yeah, you should be okay with that. And now they're moving on to Pirate Lagoon, like the second whale. This one is very, very fast-paced. You're almost always boosting or turning into the next boost, pretty much.
I always find that boost off of the jump pretty fun, pretty challenging to like. Maybe not necessarily that challenging, but definitely a fun one to
There
get.
definitely is an art to controlling your hovercraft when in the air.
Yep.
One thing that you have to be careful to consider is that you lose speed in the hovercraft very quickly. So like if you're in the air for too long, you'll rapidly lose your speed. So like, unlike in the car, for example, where you could sort of extend it, I feel like in the hover you have to be really careful.
A nice Pirate Lagoon for Trident. I didn't catch his time, unfortunately, because he was going so fast, but
it's so
like
fast
that really smooth for him.
So fast that no one even knows how fast.
Yeah. Oh man, he missed the zipper there, fortunately.
Oh, I got a nice jump there. So yeah, and Crescent Island, this track, I always say is harder. It seems like it's underrated difficulty. It's a fairly simple track in general. Like there's no blue balloons. So in a way it's easier because there's like less boost to worry about. But like this turn right here is pretty hard up to the bridge. Oh, and Trident actually. Well, you can see one of the things I was gonna say is sometimes things can go very wrong just because of how much you have to rely on getting sort of flinging yourself at that bridge.
Yeah. So that's an unfortunate turn of events for him, but man. Wait, is guessing that was a 56 Pirate Lagoon? That's
right, well, Trident making an admirable recovery considering he took a swim.
Treasure case.
Definitely.
And he's still like about a lap ahead of Kiwi.
How did Kiwi miss that zipper? That's a very odd zipper.
Yeah, the zippers and CI
physics.
can be problematic sometimes. There are sometimes like very small, almost unnoticeable like bumps
Oh, gotcha.
that can cause. We won't see. He's done here, but there's one zipper in CI that's kind of infamous for looking like you should have hit that, but then going over it.
Yeah, he missed the first zipper on it, and it looked like he should have gone right. No, I think it was, but he looked like he should have just gone over it. And the bump, I guess there's that slight bump physics that put him over it.
Right, so Trident getting out of Sherbert with a not terrible TC. Treasure Caves is another infamous track, very inconsistent. No matter what strategy you do, it's hard to chain all the boosts together without messing something up.
Interesting use of boost from Kiwikiller to be boosting between these two boosts right here.
Yeah, Kiwi actually does a different strat, as we saw.
We see 347 from him there. He finishes his wow, forgetting the name of the ATR. He finishes his
Trying to
Sherbert
get a
Island.
double boost. Having a decent lap one.
Oh,
right as I say that,
happy with that.
having an annoying transition. That's really annoying, missing that zipper, because like sometimes you have a really good lap and you're like, all right, let's go, and then all your momentum dies because you missed that zipper.
Yep.
Very frustrating, but he's recovering just fine, and
22 lap 2. That's pretty good.
still on pace to have a decent Everfrost peak.
Yep. Kiwi also having a pretty good lap 1, considering.
And yeah, Kiwi's honestly keeping up pretty well.
Yeah, and his snow section is definitely brighter. Screen like
Definitely brighter. Yeah,
oh my god,
literally brighter.
So bright. Oh, unfortunate bump for him there. Not too killing, but he lost all his speed there. Was free falling. Luckily, he was able to move his plane ahead of time. Oh, as we see Trident onto Walrus Cove. Let's hope to see another PB from him.
Another 121 from Trident, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
It would be hard to expect that kind of performance twice in a row, but who knows?
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely not impossible, but it's improbable.
Well, his first lap was already a second slower than the last one.
Oh, okay. So he had a really good lap one. Okay. As we see Kiwi getting onto Walrus Cove as well. Walrus Cove, definitely a finicky track, especially in the ice section. You need to have some pretty good turn maneuvering through the second section of cave here, because you usually want to get those 3 bananas there while also maintaining and not bonking on it.
Yeah, there's a few approaches you can use to try to boost your way through here. One thing people like to do is what Trident's doing, save your boost till here to the end, because there's a fairly safe.
Oh, another 120.
Wow, he actually did get another 121
from Trident. Holy cow!
Trident has really been practicing Walrus Cove recently, I guess.
Hard to use it.
Oh, missing that balloon. That's so annoying when you get those 2 bananas, because you were so close to getting the balloon, but yeah, this is another short, somewhat inconsistent track.
If you do everything right, it just goes so fast.
Yeah, if everything goes the way you want, you fly right into the next balloon. It looks so cool. You know, all the air travel is perfect, but when things go badly, it doesn't look so great. Trident's doing just fine though. He didn't have any major problems like getting run over by snowballs or anything. If the acceleration glitch you're referring to is the fact that you can tap to go faster than if you're holding A, then yes. They are definitely doing that.
Well, man, it looks like Kiwi's having a little bit of trouble on Snowball Valley. As he misses the blue boost at the end of there, and also I think he missed a bloopers.
Yeah,
Bloopers in there at in the beginning part.
18 lap 2 is not what you want.
No.
Man, his screen is so blindingly white on this track.
I think Sweener mentioned in the chat that it could be because he uses S video.
Maybe.
So I think that's probably the case, honestly.
It's not really noticeable most of the time. It's just like on this track in particular, it's crazy.
Yeah. He does miss the blue on most of the laps there. That last blue balloon, which will boost you into it. Trident taking a nice fly down on Frosty Village as he's
And trying to just
on
calmly
lap 3
finishing up
there.
this snow trophy race. And he seems like he's on pretty good pace.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if it was better or worse than the last one. I haven't been keeping track of like times when they finished, but going in with a 13, about a 13:30 something heading into Dragon Forest. Ooh, and Kiwi taking an unfortunate dip there.
Kiwi taking a swim, that's more common than you think. When you want to try to take that turn as tight as possible, but there's this sort of weird behavior where your wheel can, when your wheel goes in that like ditch near the water, you can almost get sucked into the water.
Yeah.
Which
Seems
is what
like
you saw there.
Yeah, it seems like if one wheel hits, the whole thing's gonna hit, type of thing. Or I don't know the physics that well.
It's kind of strange. I mean, it's often unpredictable. Like sometimes you
Okay.
can get away with it. Other times, like
Gotcha.
one wheel goes into the ground and you just go flying.
Yep.
So definitely some odd things can happen.
Yeah, seeing Kiwi opt with his blue balloon to do it after he gets down the hill. A lot of players will do that. We did see Bandau in his races earlier opting to use it right away and just fly down the hill. Knowing the aggressive nature of Bandau as a player, that makes a lot of sense. We see Trident on Boulder Canyon, the last hover track.
Yeah, so you'll see something kind of interesting here. You want to take an intentional bonk on this wall. So bonking on the wall and hover, if you do like a side bonk, it can actually be beneficial in some cases because it doesn't cost you, it doesn't really cause you to slow down, and you can use it to orient yourself quickly. In the case of that turn in Boulder Canyon, doing the double boost into the other boost and hitting the wall there sort of gets you on a good line.
Yep. Yeah, hover is the most forgiving of the vehicles for bonking, especially side bonking. However, I mean, if you do head-on bonk with something, it is going to be a pain. You are going to lose quite a bit of time.
Yeah, hover is less forgiving in other ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as forgiving on your thumb to practice
No,
this
it's
vehicle.
definitely not. No. I couldn't imagine trying to grind out hover levels for ILs.
It's fun for a while. I don't have the endurance to do it. I cannot practice like hover alone for more than an hour. I really start to feel it.
Yeah.
Props to those who dedicate themselves to being gods of hover.
Props to the hover section of the DKR community. Trident, at least that spike ball there wasn't right in the line like I think Bandau or somebody else had earlier on one of the races, where it was just right after he got his shield, where it was just right in the way. Spike ball.
Trident might get a 109.
Oh, 110.
So close.
Oh, just got a 110.
Still.
That was a really
Quite
good
a good GV.
Village. Yeah. See Kiwi starting on track. Here we see about a one track separation between the two. So Kiwi is keeping up pretty well.
What was that bump that
what?
Trident just had? Did he hit the flap of the window?
I'm not sure. I didn't catch it. I was watching Kiwi.
I wasn't looking, but I heard him. I heard the bonk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
I think he bonked on the
if
windmill.
these CPU, as long as these CPUs don't interfere with him too much, he should still be just fine going for this out of bounds.
Yep. He is fine. He does get the out of bounds. Great job by Trident. Oh my gosh, the constant switches when you go in that section.
Interesting, the Trident actually spins right to get that out of bounds clip. I don't see that very often. I'm not an expert at that by any means, so I can't say.
Oh!
Wow! How did he not clip back in?
That's a couple.
Holy crap!
He's gotten lucky on that a couple of times today.
When I saw him start that spin, I was like, "Oh my god, he just went back in." But then No, just barely.
Yeah, but we did see Kiwi have something
putting
similar.
on a show for us right now.
Yeah, yeah, just fantastic out of bounds for Trident, as he's gonna finish with
Well,
probably finish with about a 111, 112. There's a 112.
yeah, I mean, he probably he's probably not super happy with that, but you know, he did get the clip at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Even getting the out of bounds, I shouldn't say that. He's probably happy just that he got the out of bounds. Honestly,
yeah,
that's what you want. Don't
cool.
messing that up is probably like the biggest single mistake you could have
Yes.
in an HER run like this.
Yep. And so we're gonna see Kiwi going for the triple boost, which he does unfortunately not get. That's a very difficult out of bounds to get.
Yeah, even with what Kiwi's doing, which getting the 3 balloons can make the clip easier at the cost of taking longer to set up. But even so, it's not easy to get that every time.
No, it's definitely not. Like the windmill planes out of bounds is a trick that even many of the people in the tournament didn't really go for a lot. It's so difficult. As we see Trident finishing up Dragon Forest as he went through Haunted Woods, which is a very short car track, and we'll see Kiwi go into that track next. So
yeah, Kiwi opting to just, I don't think he went for it again in lap 2, opting to just finish the course out inbounds.
Yep, finishing the course out inbounds, which is definitely the safe way to go. You know, especially if he doesn't think he can get it in one of the other laps, it's better just to save time doing it that way than lose time missing it on both.
Yeah, you can really see the effect of the time difference between the inbounds and out of bounds windmill planes. Trident was only less than a full track ahead, and now he's already in Space Dust Alley when Kiwi still has Haunted Woods to do. Like that, it makes such a difference getting that out of bounds.
Yeah, it does. We did see Kiwi get it on the last one, and just with triple boost and having pretty interesting and heart pounding out of bounds in race 1. But now we see him on Haunted Woods getting that very unfortunate bonk. Again, it's difficult to control your car when you are boosting and trying to turn, and obviously doing all that and moving in the air. We see and Trident dealing nicely with the CPU on lap 3 there, as they can definitely be a pain to deal with.
Trident with a solid Space Dust Alley 117.
Yeah. Oh man, it looked like he clipped the second zipper, which caused him to go super flying, but wasn't that bad of a bonk because I think it threw him back onto the track. And here we have Trident on Darkmoon Cavern, which has a lot of opportunities for bonking, and then also later on in the track you'll see a lot of stuff like spike balls down on the ground.
And yeah, last time we saw Trident nearly PB here, despite well, or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't a PB, but nearly get 135. I remember he said he was upset about it. The double spike trap. So let's hope that doesn't happen to him this time.
Yeah, he's definitely going really good so far.
The placement, as you can see, there's a lot of green balloons on this track. The CPUs have an annoying tendency to just litter them around areas where it's hard to avoid.
Yeah. And Kiwi himself is on Space Dust Alley now. He had a little bit of a bonk there.
Yeah, look, there's 3 in a row there. Easy to avoid those, but sometimes they will be in places where you just have almost no choice but to run into them.
Yeah. Look, he's on good pace right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 135. Oh, he did miss that balloon, but it's still not that bad.
Wow, nice barrel rolling and actually hitting that zipper. That was close.
Yeah. Oh man, doesn't look like it's gonna be the 135, 137 for Trident there on Darkmoon Cavern. Kiwi getting the nice adjustment off the barrel roll there, as it looked like he was gonna bonk.
Gets the balloon stolen. I hate that.
Yeah. Definitely. As he's finishing up, looks like he's gonna get a 126 Space Dust Alley, which is maybe not the time he would have wanted, but definitely.
I think for a no reset run
Yeah.
where you don't start there,
Yeah, definitely acceptable.
I think it's nice just to not have it be a disaster, right?
Definitely, yeah. I can see that being the case.
Although yeah, you can't expect to like Trident had a pretty solid one. It's worth mentioning just how inconsistent that track normally is. It's like the main reason why people usually start in FFL.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good place to start in the trophy race is in Future Funland.
Yeah, well,
Especially-
honestly, if I could pick a track to start, I don't know that I would pick anything else.
Yeah.
SDA is really tough, and it's hard to have one that's like close to your peak.
Yeah. Ooh, a 114
Wow,
Star City from
That was-
Trident. That's really
that was really
heading
solid.
into Space Dust, Spaceport Alpha.
Yeah, and he is.
That's really good pace, honestly. I mean, could he get the 24?
If his timer is synced to his gameplay and he has a good spaceport, he could get a 24.
Yeah, we're looking at a very close time for Trident to get his PB. He's sitting at a 25 flat right now.
How crazy would that be if he got 24 in this race?
Or in a race, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, am I reading this wrong?
What?
All right.
Yeah, it looks like
His
he's
timer
very
is like almost synced up with the seconds on his in-game timer, so that means
he's very close. Oh my goodness. Come on, buddy, you got this.
one more lap.
Oh man, it's gonna be so close. I don't know. Oh man.
Oh,
Wow.
barely missed it.
25-01.
Wow.
Holy cow.
25:01 in a race.
You played out of your mind there, dude. Congratulations
What
on
a
that
crazy
25.
run.
Trident. Wow. Oh my gosh. 25:01:28 on our timer. I don't know what his in-game timer, what his personal timer was. Yeah, your Windmill Plains was awesome, and that's incredible. He got a 25:01 taking a swim on Crescent Island. Like, yeah, that's just incredible.
Yeah, after that CI and Windmill Plains, I thought that it was unlikely you would PB, but I guess I wasn't really paying attention to just how fast the pace was. Like, that was such a sick run.
Yeah. But yeah, you're definitely capable of a 24. Like, that shows it.
Now we're getting Kiwi's lovely game audio as he finishes up Star City.
Nice.
119 maybe? Oh, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Still solid for his PB at Star City.
Mm-hmm.
So Kiwi, not able to PB here, but he can still have a solid time. Let's hope he gets this clean.
So what is his PB, by the way?
It's a very low 27. I don't know
Oh,
exactly.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so he's
2708 according to the leaderboard. Oh wow, and he
that's-
just like dropped in there. That was interesting. He didn't.
That's a really interesting way to get in there. But yeah, it looks like he's gonna get a 27 here. Pending any wrong ways, he should be
Wrong
okay.
way, yeah. Let's hope for no wrong way. No.
But-
It is also possible to fly too low.
And
But he's
void
not
out.
in any danger of doing that right now.
Yeah, he's not. He's getting pretty up there. He's got good altitude. But yeah, Spaceport Alpha is a pretty... Once you get into the out of bounds, it's pretty simple. Like Galul said, really the most interesting thing, really the most difficult thing is just your height. With a nice 2730 from Kiwikiller.
Alright.
Saves probably, what, that's like 38 seconds off his last
Yeah,
run.
finishing strong and less than 30 seconds off his PB.
Mm-hmm.
a very
fantastic.
solid race performance from both players. Well,
Yeah, it's
Trident 1 second off his PB and,
Yeah.
and nearly getting 24 in a race.
Oh my
How crazy
gosh.
would that have been?
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
job to both players.
GG's to both.
Congrats, Trident on his 2-0. Moving on, and let's see what his bracket is looking like.
He'll be facing Haba, I believe. I think he'll be playing Hobby, right?
I accidentally left the channel.
I think he'll be playing Haba in the next round. What? Hello?
Sorry,
Hello?
are you playing who?
Haba.
Habe, yeah, that'll be
Habe.
an interesting race.
Sorry, Habe.
Habe is very good. Those players are actually very close because Habe just PB'd recently and got, I think, a low 25 as well.
Wow, nice.
So that will be
That's gonna be interesting and
That'll
so
be
much
very-
fun.
very interesting race.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that does. Is that all the matches?
That was the last one that was on the schedule for tonight.
Okay.
So unless there's something else happening, I don't know what's on the channel next, but I guess that's it. Now let me see.
It looks like there's.
Yeah, unless one of the partners wants to do an interview, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah, unless somebody like Trident or Trident or Kiwi want to do an interview.
But yeah, definitely good job to both players.
Yes.
Great performance from Tridenttail, nearly getting the 24 and getting his 2-0. And his and this left side of the bracket, it's not like as easy, but it is interesting to see because nearly all of the best players are on the opposite side of the bracket, which sort of makes it interesting, kind of, because like it makes it more possible for sort of these, like a player like Trident could actually win this side of the bracket.
Yeah.
He could be in grand finals, or Habe could, or yeah, I don't know.
Or yeah, it's what it's you, Sweener, Habe, and Trident. In round of 8.
Yeah, we're on that. We're on this side, and then okay,
there's
looks like
here.
Trident's here.
Hi, Trident. Trident.
Hello.
Hey, congrats!
Thank you.
That second one was crazy.
Yeah, so I actually had no idea what pace I was on. So
man.
I kind of took a leisurely stroll through Spaceport Alpha, but
Oh, okay.
if I knew that,
It was a 25 pace. Or,
yeah, if I knew that it was on pace for 24, I maybe would have yielded a little harder, because I think that was like a 1 minute Spaceport Alpha, and I actually I usually average like a 55 or 56, so that easily would have been sub 25, but
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
makes sense. Since you didn't know, I mean, why bother risking, any mistake on the out of
I
bounds?
thought it was over. I took the
Yeah.
swim in Crescent Island, and
Yeah.
also Windmill Plains was really bad. It was like a 112 or something with that really
Yeah.
bad bonk at the start.
Oh, okay.
And there was like a bunch of like other mistakes that I thought were pretty costly, but I guess the run really wasn't that bad.
Well, the thing is, I guess I was sort of thinking along the same lines as you, just like watching the parts that did go wrong. I was thinking that it would be that you weren't close to PB until I saw your timer at the end, and I realized that wow, like holy crap, if you had a good space for it, it's 24. You did have, there were some parts that were really good though, like you got like a 121 Walrus Cove like both times, right?
Yeah,
That's
he got
insane.
to 121. Yeah.
Crazy Walrus Cove, and then did it again. And then,
I don't know if the second one was a faster 121, but I've never gotten a
It was a high
121 before, so
so
to
yeah,
get
getting two in a row.
in
We were
races,
joking about it too. I was like, well, I don't think he's gonna have as good a one as last time, and then like you actually did.
well,
Yeah,
it's
it was
funny
a high
because like
121.
it was funny because I was listening along to the stream and there's obviously like a delay. So I got the 121 and I was like, oh crap, like I just did that again. And then I heard you say like, wouldn't it be insane if you got like another 121? And I kind of chuckled to myself like, just wait a little bit.
Okay,
But
so
yeah.
you and Manu are playing today.
Oh yeah, our race got rescheduled because Fiesel wasn't able to do it at the time scheduled.
Oh,
but
okay,
we're,
got it.
We're on for Tuesday.
Sweet. Yeah.
So yeah, Kiwi got he did pretty well. I was impressed to see him keeping up with you at least for the first parts of the races. Obviously, it's hard to keep it going the whole time.
Yeah.
But he came pretty close to his PB in the second race, where he was able to get that. Out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I kind of like want to touch on is like I think there's like quite a few new runners of this game, and they think that like to run this game like they need to like learn all the tricks, like they need to learn Hot Dog Volcano and they need to learn Windmill Plains and they need to learn Spaceport Alpha, or like they need to have the Japanese version in order to even run this game in the first place. And it's like not true at all, because you can see that like just raw skill at the game, like you save a couple of seconds here and there every race, and like that's more important than any of the out of bounds tricks. So yeah,
especially as someone who's like, I've been on the fence about running this, like hearing that, it's like, it's definitely true. Just work on the fundamentals.
Yeah, and it's
what I
good
need to do.
And it's good too, because like if you feel like intimidated by running this game, like because of those tricks, like then just don't do them. Just practice like your skills and stuff like that, and then once you get to that point in time where it's like, okay, well realistically the only way I can really PB is like
out of
by
bounds.
learning these tricks. Yeah.
Where
you really just want to drop your time like a lot, but
I agree with what you're saying, which is that the motivation for playing should not just be to get your time down as fast as possible. Like, just be to like do what's fun and like try to improve at the game first. And then, like you said, once you get to the point where you think that that like the easiest, like realistically, like you said, to have like a large PB, you have to add these things in. But I think it can definitely be a mistake to try immediately to be like doing all the tricks that you can.
Like, cause that was definitely me. Like I was like, I just wanted to like learn all the tricks, and then I think I got like a 28 with like all the tricks, and I was like, how do I improve from here? Like, and it's just like, well, then you realize like how like not really important those tricks are.
It's really the movement that makes the run.
Yeah, and then you have people like Halul getting a 26 without Windmill Plains out of bounds.
Oh, that was just because I disliked the out of bounds so much that I just told myself I was just gonna see how far I can go without doing that.
But it just like goes to show like by eliminating that trick, you can still get a very good time in this category.
Yeah, and like you have some people that continue to play on US version.
For sure.
Like you can switch versions and just save like a free 30 seconds plus, by just playing on a different version of the game. But what version you're playing, it doesn't prevent you from like practicing and just getting good at the game.
Literally the only difference, at least for there's probably obviously finite differences, but really, because Spaceport Alpha is a Japanese cartridge only trick, that's like something. But other than that, like, just practicing tracks and working on time trials, doing balloon races and time trials, like definitely is a great way to go about things.
Yeah, there's a lot more to the game too than what you see in ATR. I mean, that's popular, but there's a whole world of time trials and balloon races on the non-default vehicles that you don't see very often.
And also doing doing adventure stuff like any %, 100%.
Yeah. for sure, there's a lot of options.
Mhm.
You know, obviously because of the focus, because of the tournament, focus has been on ATR. Just fine by me because that's my favorite.
Mhm.
But
Ugh, I hate it.
it
I hate
definitely
that.
grates on me after a while, though. Even though I usually enjoy it, I don't know, runs aren't so enjoyable after a while.
No,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm
Alright.
actually going to take off. Thanks
Alright,
very much
fine.
for commentating. It was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. Yeah,
Thank you
you had a
very
great
much,
run,
yeah.
and it was definitely put on a show for everyone. So thanks for that. Congrats on the 2-0 and the near PB.
Yeah, definitely.
24 is soon for
Congratulations.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
All right,
All
see
right,
ya.
see ya.
Have a good one.
All right, so I guess that's it for us then. I'm probably going to go ahead and sign off as well. Thanks
Okay.
for commentating with me. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. A
And
lot of fun.
thanks to everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.